Muñoz, Funky.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Us Podcast.
A podcast about us.
It's all of us, bro.
It's all of us.
Even our guest today,
Me.
even Chrisol is here. She is officially a part of the Usverse.
The us first. I like that. Yeah,
Dude.
she is a true homie in all the purest forms. But welcome back.
Welcome
Thank
back
you
to another
for returning. This is going to be our potential...
Let's
Let's
not
never number these. Never mind.
We're
Let's
never
just
gonna
say
number these
that.
episodes.
You don't know what this number is because we don't either.
Yeah, exactly. But
yes.
as you can tell, we are here, another episode with our good homie Chrisol. Hello, Chrisol.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
How are you? Thank you
Well, thank you for being here.
Oh, that's true. In
Exactly.
this very cool, but also very hot room.
So
It's stuffy.
as many of you people know, this is us podcast level 2, and part of level 2 is Angel and I wanted to challenge ourselves to not only make this tougher on us by having to shoot these episodes, but coming to a space that the artists we're interviewing feels most creative or something that inspires them. And right now, Chrisol, could you tell us a little bit about this room?
Well, we are in my house.
Right.
This is my office. And
Located at.
right, we're going to drop the pin for you guys. It's in the metadata, don't trip. Yeah, we're just in my house. I do live in...
Yuck.
So
There you go.
that's not a specific.
So something I love doing is when we have female guests and they give, like when Julie said, I work at wherever, and then I say a really mean joke in one of our last episodes, and then when you say this city, I'm just going to deepen it and reverse it, so it's going to say, I live in, and then they're just like not going to get it.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
I love it.
Try figuring it out. But anyway, back to business. What
It's
is...
kind of like mysterious.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is just my my kind of my workspace studio office. I've been living here for about a year now. Built it. It was kind of one of the first rooms we built out before
Wow.
anything else in the living room. And,
You're like, before I even put my bed in,
kind of.
where am I going to
no,
put my
like,
guitars?
Basically, and so I was like, all right, which one? I mean, I guess I needed the bigger room to be the one that I sleep in. So
Right.
this is, but it was cool. It's cool. I like being able to. I feel very lucky. There's a lot of to be able to have a space like this.
Of the Chrisol recordings currently out at the moment, which are the
Let's see
rose
it.
off the bloom, bloom off the rose, yeah, bloom off the rose,
After today, officially known as Rose Off the Blue.
rose off the bloom. Oh yeah, so as expected by Twin Seas. Of those songs, and then there's another one. No! It's the way you give yourself to me. That one. I know the name of that one. It's the prettiest thing. The prettiest thing. Great. So of those songs that are out, were any of them built in here?
Yes, the prettiest thing.
The prettiest thing.
Yeah.
Where exactly?
Literally where you're sitting.
Can you paint the scene of when it was being put together? Because I think people would really love to know. Because it's such a sweet, moving, and just like intimate song. And like when I remember the first time I heard it, I was just so taken with just like how powerful your voice was over a very simple song. And you weren't trying to like do a Whitney Houston level. No, it's just you're singing, but you just say it so powerfully. So how was that song?
Wait. I remember I was listening to that in my house, and my brother's like, "Why are you listening to that old shit?"
No, wait. That's the
Perfect.
point. No, that's
Perfect.
great. That is the point. So
Genius.
that's awesome. The quick story about that song. I met Gloria Estrada. People know her from Viento Callejero. She's also a really prolific musician. I toured with her for a little bit. We were both on tour with Las Cafeteras when I was filling in for Leah. And
Shout out Las Cafeteras.
Shouts. We saw them at Cell Arts.
And her and I were on tour just nerding out over we constantly ask each other. She'd ask me questions like, who are your favorite like singing icons, and I'd ask her the same thing. We just vibe over that, and we started talking about Ella Fitzgerald, and specifically the Ella Fitzgerald Joe Pass duets album, and just like we're both big jazz heads. She's a lot more well versed on the genre because she can actually play it. I just know how to sing it. And I've invited her over to kind of collab, and we'd been meeting up a couple times at her place. We started a couple tracks. Like there's a couple things out there that exist that we've just started on, and then had her come over here. And actually on that guitar, I don't know if it's in the shop, but on the Polaris, I showed her. I brought that guitar home from San Antonio. It's a old 1960s kind of Japanese Gibson knockoff. And I had to play with it, and of course, so plugged it in real quick, and she started noodling on something, and I had my mic plugged in, and we did one take. Everything, pretty much all the words that you hear were all improv.
What?
No.
I swear.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's one audio version that exists of the song. It's the only other recording of it. That's the demo, which was one take, as is into the mic.
That sounds like some classic fucking. Did you know? Like shit.
So when she came in, I mean, because that guitar, that's kind of like my classic car, and I say that because I brought it home. It needs a lot of work. But it is a cool vintage piece that I can turn into be a really badass guitar once I
it's like your project, like your baby.
Because there's like the intonation needs to get fixed, but she really works some magic with it, and what we recorded was done on that guitar. And she came in for a follow-up session, and she brought her really awesome big jazz baby guitar. That thing's a monster, and I can't it's such a crazy guitar because it's the kind. I'm not anybody that plays guitar. I'm so sorry for butchering.
Nerds would be like, she doesn't know.
Like, this is ridiculous.
All the guitars. She doesn't know how to play any of them. Which is true. I really don't. But she just brought it, and she noodled kind of like the same chords, and then we just did a smoother take of everything. And then I changed the words of the second chorus a little bit. Second verse, a little bit, and that was a pretty thing. But it was done right here in this room.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We're sitting on the couch.
Yeah, that's where Gloria was sitting, and then I was over here standing into the mic, and I know that's for real greatness. My couch.
That's so.
This is where all that. This is the
This is my
casting couch.
casting
This is where the magic happens in more ways than one.
Yeah, and fun fact about that song, the entire time, because my dog, you guys met him. He's cute, and he's got like no chill. But to keep him quiet during takes, I had to pet him the whole time. So as I'm singing, singing the final recording of The Prettiest Thing, I'm just petting my dog, and he's like.
So imagine her friend playing guitar, Chrisol sitting right here, singing, coming up with the lyrics on the spot as she's.
I'm like,
No. Well, it was.
By then you had.
By the time we did the recording where I was petting Mac, I was standing right there. Gloria's right here with the whole setup, and I was there, but he had to like stand. He was like on my leg. And I was just petting him. So I'm just like.
Please pet.
Because I was just trying to keep him quiet, because because he'll just.
Yeah, he'll just slam against walls and plop on the floor.
Yeah, he plops.
So when you hear things like, when you remember things like that, when you experience them, do you think like, yo, like, this is so perfect for an origin story of a superstar?
No.
Of course not superstar. You're not gonna think, but just like, don't you think like this is so cool? Like this is really my life now.
So there's moments where I take a beat and I'm very grateful. Absolutely. Just because especially when I go work other gigs that like are not my creative stuff. Like, because I'm a professional singer, so I go sing for people. I do other gigs that people are just like, we just need to sing for 3 hours.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, no, for real. I'm like, it's your wedding. I'm like, we're gonna do what you want to hear. All of Me by John Legend.
Literally, before we started recording, I was just like, Alexa, play Hoobastank.
Oh, God. Found a reason. Oh, God.
And we just did that. And the human jukebox. That's your super...
because I used to do, like, cocktail gigs for hours and hours, right? You had to learn... And not so much learning it, you just kind of have to get the gist of it, and you have your iPad or your sheet music or whatever.
You're like, I can sing this.
Yeah, you just got... I'm like that really bad... that singer at a bonfire that knows, like, partially a bunch of, like, a ton of songs, like, kind of halfway, like, the way you get. Like, you kind of know American Pie, but not all the way. That's definitely me. So now that I've been kind of in charge of my own creative projects, going back to those gigs, because, still got to paga la renta and keep this thing open.
You don't get all this.
All this production value.
All this production value, yeah. I actually literally just set this up today for you guys. I'm just kidding.
You're like, this is the guest bedroom.
Yeah, this is,
That's how respected the Us podcast is.
I'm just kidding. No.
She's like, not going to clear this out tonight.
No, I don't live with my grandma. But,
I would love if you actually did all this just for us. And then you were like, you were going to do the living room first, because that's where we planned to do this. And then she's like, oh, by the way, maybe I'll take a look at my
I think there might be a plug in my...
Yeah, we work... the living room is just much much bigger than this. I thought you guys
That's
would be more
true.
comfortable. Like, cause
But I feel like this really helps
This
us
is
capture
MySpace
who
for
you are.
sure.
Exactly.
This
This is your MySpace.
this is my. I was just about to make a MySpace joke.
See, I'm telling you,
Hate you for getting
improv
there
comedy
first.
troupe right here.
Wow,
dude.
what
I
is
was
this?
gonna say-
I'm
I
gonna
was gonna say- I
Costello.
was gonna say, call me Tom, because this is MySpace. You guys didn't hear my joke.
Who's
right?
on
It's
first?
fine.
That's
Whose line is it anyway?
I want to hear this.
love that
I want to
joke.
hear the MySpace joke.
No, I already said it.
It's over.
I know.
Wow.
I couldn't find the word. I couldn't
Chrisol,
find the
so
word.
you're talking about how you do these gigs now, and that's part of your job.
Okay. Wow. Yes, we can all take so many left turns. So it's really in those moments when I'm doing those other gigs and kind of going back to the things that, you know, you just have to do to make money and grind, that I realize I'm like, oh man, like I'm living a pretty damn good life. Because even when I am doing those gigs, that's not a bad way to make a living for someone like me.
Absolutely.
You know, so as far as like an origin story, I mean, when I was so funny, when I was a little kid, I used to think about it a lot. Like when making my MySpace profile, I'd be like, man, the internet, everything's gonna live on here forever. I better behave like I'm gonna be a star.
My
later
legacy
in life.
starts here.
Yeah, let me make sure my MySpace playlist is really cool, because someone's
Yes.
gonna go back and be like, wow, Chrisol, you had really good taste.
Even back then.
yeah, or like, you know,
Man, your MySpace background?
yeah. Oh my god, the HTML, you were I was straight doing coding,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so dumb now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
My
what are all
MySpace-
these like less than
My
signs
MySpace
for?
was the extent. That was the peak brilliance for me.
You gotta search for ESP and then you gotta
Oh my
copy
god.
paste.
Oh,
and
image
just code it.
SRC equals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I do not miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so time consuming.
Only,
making MySpace.
Yeah, so
real
that was
quick.
that was my like, that was probably the only time I was really hyper aware, or like when I'd be in classic board, like I gotta work on my autograph, like, you know, but
Yeah.
That's
but
something
now
Chris does
that
too.
I'm actually doing the job.
Thanks for pointing that out. Just like, did I fucking practice my?
You practice your autograph?
Sometimes like just like whenever I'm just bored, I'll like practice like just giving out autographs, or I'll draw my movie titles. That's
You
what I
know
do.
learned? Don't sign your government name. Like your autograph needs to be.
Oh yeah, it's just Chris
signature.
Carmona. Yeah, I have Christopher Edward Carmona for all my official shit, and then just Chris
Yeah.
Carmona is my autograph.
Christopher Carmona, and I used to figure out how he does his R's.
Yeah, exactly.
Tougher.
I do it a very specific way.
Topher Carmona.
Topher. I tried that in 6th grade for half a day, and my teacher, like, she got such an off-tangent story. She got the paper, and she's like, "Who's Topher?" She's like, "Carmona." "Chris, is this you?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, and she made me right there on the spot, like, decide, what do you want to be? But she was genuinely asking, "What do you want to be called, Chris or Topher?" And I was like, Chris. And then she goes, "Okay, so fix this." And so I fixed it.
And so his whole life went on that.
God was like, nah.
Topher's going this way. Chris is going this way.
You gotta stay on this Chris shit.
Topher.
But from a Chris to a Chris,
Fellow Chris's.
fellow Chris's, I
Yeah,
want to talk about.
CHRIS too.
Well, it's because right now
Correct Chris.
exactly the correct way to spell Chris, not Christ Carmona,
Correct
fucking
Chris.
restaurants.
Yeah.
You were the other day when we were at Eastside Love. You were telling me, I want to see if you would be down to share this. You're telling me how you had a strategy for when you did these performances, and I think it's so fascinating. You look at it like a game. You were telling me about how when you do like the legit performances, you don't something you don't like. It's just like it's not that helpful when people are coming up to you telling you did amazing,
Oh,
that
yeah,
you rocked
that
it. You
stems
said
from sports. So I played soccer for a long time, and I was pretty good enough.
Pretty good.
You know, pretty good. I don't know. There's girls on the team way better, but you know I have my strengths. And you finish the game, and people be like, "Chrisol, you did amazing. You did great." And the second I get in my brother's car, he'd be like, "You fucked up here. Can I guess on the show? I don't know."
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucked up here. You keep your
Heck
head on
no.
a swivel, blah blah blah. And then like sometimes I'd get like, you know, because I'd be like riding that high, and then I'd get into the car, and he'd be like, "Yo,
He
what?"
knock you down a peg.
Knock you down, yeah. And then finally one day he just without, I think he saw it on my face because it was a really good game, but I did something stupid. I don't remember, but he was just like, I tell you this because like everybody is gonna blow smoke up your ass, and you're just gonna ride that, and you're not gonna improve if you don't stop for a second and think about what you know, if you don't do it to yourself, because he could just tell I wasn't like doing that like self-correcting or self-review.
Because you're like, so what? I did all these
It was
good
an amazing,
things.
you know, it was an amazing game. I don't know.
It's fucking
So
awesome. Did you not see me?
as I got older, and when I stopped playing sports and focused on music, when I would perform, like it's why I really don't get drunk or drink when I perform, because I'm like I need to be able to pay attention to what I'm doing on stage, and I love, you know, it's great. It's awesome being done with the show and people are like, "Oh, you did amazing," but I always have to kind of look at it and be like, yeah, it's just that kind of keeping yourself in line and making sure you're improving with every show.
Well, that for sure just really impressed me because when you said it that way, I was saying, Angel, like, it really made me think, like, for one, it gave me an insight more into how you see you doing this, but then I thought, so yeah, it's like she's like an athlete then. It's like it's like it's just like that.
My discipline background. Some people were, especially artists. Like a lot of people start in either dance or theater, which is cool. I didn't. I got pushed.
Chrisol like sports.
Yeah, well, I just got pushed towards them. I wanted to dance, but dance was not financially really that practical because at least in the town I grew up in, like all the dance programs were really expensive. And soccer, all you gotta do is one-time investment once a year on some cleats and some shin guards.
Get a ball.
Yeah, maybe it's like $150. Like with when I started playing club and spring ball and stuff like that, it's a little more expensive, but it wasn't like cost prohibitive.
Right.
For my parents to put me in sports, and then plus I have 4 older brothers, so they let my sister be the girly one, so I could not be.
Sense.
Yeah, so they let my sister be the girly one, and then they were like, I'm like the unofficial 5th brother. So, but yeah, no, legit.
I love
legit.
that.
My
Chris.
Yeah, I am.
What up, Chris?
So I have an amazing. Oh, actually, all my nieces and nephews are awesome. But the oldest started this when she was like, I don't know, how old are kids when they can start like actually talking? Like 3 or 4 years old.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, so when she started being able to name us, she just started calling me Uncle Chris. So I was like, oh, cute. I'd be like, baby, what's my name? And she's like, Uncle Chris. And I was like, okay, maybe she thinks Chris is a boy name, And so I was like, I get that. And it stuck. I am Uncle Chris.
No way.
And she is 8 years old. And she knows. She's like, you're my
cute.
tia, but your name is. She's like, I call you Uncle Chris, and that's a special thing. And I'm like, and she like gets it. I'm like at this because when she was little, I'd be like, oh man, like that's cute. She's gonna grow out of it one day. I'll be like Tia Console or whatever, auntie. I don't know. And then just the more I just got accustomed to it, I was like, I'm Uncle Chris. Like, don't call me anything else. But then it got cute. I have. How many do I have now? I think I'm at 5 now.
Dang, Chrisol's nieces and nephews.
Yeah, it was. There's a couple.
Who is your least favorite?
Yeah, no.
Exclusive.
Chrisol, this is family.
Oh my god. Yeah, but they all call me Uncle Chris. Yeah.
They all do?
All
That is so
There's 3
cool.
boys and another girl, and they all call me Uncle Chris.
Yeah, because that's what we were talking about when we read Eastside Love. Is I was just saying I'm like I don't mean this in a weird way, but it's like I feel just like this family. No, I didn't. I feel like a bro. It's just pure bro energy. But I was saying, I don't want to say bro energy, but it was like it just felt like family, like you would be like what I imagine a sister
I'm the
like
cool
how.
uncle.
Yeah, but like a very talkative. Yeah, you're the cool uncle.
I'm the funkle.
You're for sure you're the funkle.
Funko.
Shout out to my Eastside Love bartenders.
Heck
I stole Funko from one of the other guys. He's a total Funko.
Oh man, at least you own
I'm
that
citing.
too.
I like academically cite my jokes sometimes. Yeah. MLA format.
Wow. That was better than any joke I could have made. Good job, fucking Chrisol.
Well, yeah, no, I was just impressed by like how quick we were all able to like really vibe out with each other and connect because we haven't known each other very long.
No, I think I just met you guys through like shows and then.
Well,
that's what we want to talk about. Take it away, Angel. Please, I'm okay. Just so I can step out of the fourth wall for a second. Like I've been waiting. I've been like guiding Angel to this moment, and he finally got it. He's like, now we're talking about how we met because I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, and then as soon as he did that, I'm like, God, thank you. I've been holding this down here. Go up there, dog.
Chris just really liked that moment at Eastside Love and was just like, I just want to keep reflecting on that moment.
Oh,
so
we're moving on.
I don't know if you remember this, but our good friend Jonathan Justin Jimenez threw a pozole mixer a couple years ago, and that's where I met you. That's where I met you for the first time. We were at a table. I had no fucking idea who you were, and you were sitting across from me, and some girl was like, "Wait, you sing for Twin C's, don't you?" And you're like, "Yeah, my name's Chrisol." And I was like, I've heard the name Twin C's.
Yeah.
I don't know who Chrisol is, but I guess it's you.
Yeah, I'm just the one girl on the one song. I'm actually all over the backup vocals on that CD, but
I heard. Yeah. I was listening to them today, and then I just remembered your name because I was like Crystal.
I called it out by accident.
Physical pain.
Yeah. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And then that name stuck with me, and then flash forward, fucking I don't even know. Flash forward a lot later, and then I just fucking see you playing with my homies.
I imagine like a SpongeBob time card, like a lot later.
A lot later.
A lot later.
And then I would just see you like on Instagram. I'd see you like playing with my homies, playing shows with my homies. I'm like, Chrisol, like, is this Justin? Is this the girl that was at the Pozole mixer? It was.
All right.
And so that
Sick.
was
All
humble beginnings.
That's really interesting.
I had Pozole at Jonathan Justin Jimenez's house.
Yeah, served by his Gma.
That was cool. Yeah.
And I went to that party by my lonesome. Because,
No way.
yeah, well, so I was working a full-time job right out of college. So I had to try really hard to make it to stuff. Like, and generally, like, or people would be like, oh, this is going on if you want to roll through. But then I couldn't, like, necessarily plan to go with people. And actually, I think that night, like, none of my Twin Cities homies ended up going. I just went to go check out the Altons because they were, this is all, like, slowly coming back to me. But I was like, fuck, I'll just roll through. And then I did, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I just kind of made friends with whoever. I think that was
what's up? Yeah, because it was
I don't know. I don't mind going
little,
places by myself, but
it was
yeah.
Like a little get together.
It was way more intimate than I thought it would be. So I kind of, I mean, if I was more introverted, I bet you I would have like panicked. Like I should be here with somebody. Kind of.
Was that the Quesorama?
No, Quesorama was recent. That was this past December.
No, not that one. Because that was our Quesorama, but he used to do like smaller ones.
Yeah. So what's funny is that our Quesorama, me and Chris like to call
the first one.
The first one. But Justin had like 3 of them before that just never popped on.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Justin.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. See, even Chrisol was like, no, the first Quesorama was last December. I remember.
Because I never heard of it before. Oh my God!
Let's take a break. That's a pretty good place for a break.
Sure.
Oh.
Fuck yes.
Welcome back.
Oh my God.
We were just talking about video games.
Don't tell him.
Video games. All I say.
We're talking about video games.
So some video games.
We're here with the goofy Chrisol.
I can't stand you.
So what was the last thing we were talking about? Pretty much the first time we came across.
Yeah, our first interaction with the legend.
Oh my God.
So my first interaction with the legend herself with la reina.
Oh my God.
Chrisol told us to refer to her as
my
the legend.
She didn't want us to tell you that, but Chrisol, we think it's pretty arrogant of you to suggest that of us when we're just trying to
you're
get
in
us
my
started.
house.
Yeah,
it's the least you can do.
You will refer to me as Lord.
So, Miss Leyenda, can we talk about?
I prefer Baroness.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, no. So the first time, wow, this is the first time I ever saw Chrisol play live. I remember was at Eastside Love, but what was the event, Angel? Do you remember? I can't remember.
I've been there a couple times, so
it was.
Shout out to Eastside Love, by the way.
Super shout out.
It was the last time you played with Los Efectos.
Oh, that was your first time seeing me?
They all had the pink, the pink.
Oh, that was my first time playing there.
Yeah. Yeah, they all
No.
had the pink.
No. That was like I made them wear the
Wasn't it
pink
part of
sweaters.
like another show? I remember another lady went after or before Chrisol.
Oh no, so that was my single release. That's when Bloom Off the Rose came
There
out.
you go,
Yes,
the
that's
single
what it was.
release.
Yeah.
That
So
was
it was
the
me and
first
La
time I
Mera.
saw you.
I dubbed it so I dubbed it Eastside Lovelies. Because we both work at the bar. That's why I picked.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
La Mera Candelaria.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Shout out.
Shout out to her too. We got
Shouts.
some cool stuff coming
Hell
out.
yeah!
Way.
So that was the first time I saw you, and I want to tell the story just because like we're all like super friends here, and like it was so real.
Oh, yeah.
We are super
We
friends.
are the super friends.
We are super friends. So
Yeah.
we get there, and I remember Justin wanted us to come see just so we can check you out and stuff. And I'd only heard of you, but we hadn't heard your music, or I hadn't seen you live. So we go, we see your performance stuff, and right away, like I see everybody like running up to go congratulate you stuff. Like even Angel too. Like everyone's just like, "Fuck yeah!" And I wanted to too. But at the time, I was doing a thing. I think I never did. Like I was just standing around, and I never did. And I was just off to the side, and we were at pretty close vicinity.
Okay.
And I just remember, Angel reminded me of this recently because I totally forgot I even did this. We were walking, and then Angel and Justin were walking back to the car, like,
bro, Chrisol's fucking awesome, dude. Like, could you believe that?
yeah, just like, yeah, dude, she's great. And then I'm just quiet, and then they're like, Chris, like, what'd you think? I'm like, yeah, she's good. Yeah. And it was only, and no, and let me tell you something. That's not even the worst of it. They said like just good. I'm like, yeah, like what the fuck? They're like, what are you talking about? And I said, I was like, yeah. I said, I'm not trying to hype pretty girls up, dude. I said, like, that was good. I said, but I wasn't like thrown. I wasn't blown away.
Chris is like, she probably gets it all the time.
Exactly.
Like what? Like,
so I'm not gonna give. I'm not gonna just hype pretty girls up. I said she's great. I said Justin, cool idea, but.
Yeah. It's like, yo,
sounds great, but next.
So the next time we saw you was at Summer Lovin' at the Shoreline Village in Long Beach.
Oh, that was fun.
And I remember Chris. You can tell the story.
No.
The end of that is like I did not go, and so all I got was Chris after
I like that. I did not go.
I did not go.
I was
but Chris,
not present.
Chris comes back to me and he's just like, bro, I get it.
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I was still like, I wasn't like completely fucking floored. I was like, but I get it. I was like, it's so weird too, because every time I see you now, I am like, wow. But before I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why? I think I was just trying to not accept
Were
that
you
I was.
big leaguing me, dog? Like, what's
something like that. I think I mean,
like, it's cool. Like,
no, I think what it was is because I by that point I was kind of sick that I was sick of what's the word? Not hyping up, but congratulating an artist, like a female artist that we'd go see, and they'd be like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, if my comment is not gonna make any effect, then what's the fucking point?
Oh, I would have been the one that would have been so grateful.
But see, then it wasn't until that. This is a perfect segue into when I saw you at Settle Arts, and I had already seen you twice by that point. This time you're on a stage on the riverbed that I grew up on, fucking riding my bikes. Like, it was just such an emotional day for me. And it's called Settle Arts. That's where we're from. That's like, it was a celebration of our hometown. You're there, you're singing, and just when you were performing as Chrisol, but also for Selenamos, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I just remember after Chrisol, like, I just went like, guys, that was fucking amazing. Like, and finally, like, I stopped trying to lie to myself that I wasn't impressed. And I was just like, this is beautiful. What she's doing is beautiful. Like, this, I would have never imagined in a million years this could happen.
Thank you.
And it was like that and that was the day I finally told you.
Thank you, but fuck off fuck off for the first half of your story. But like, I'm just kidding.
But by the end of it, thanks.
But yeah, I'm just kidding.
Isn't that what you want? You want critiques?
No, I love the critiques. That's like, tell me how much
Dude,
you owe.
I'm like your brother. Like, Chrisol comes out, I'm like, all right, so you fucked up here. First thing I gotta get is
tell me how okay my show was. Please.
Something we were laughing at that East Side Love show. You were walking down the bar and you like put your hand out for some guy. And then, do you remember? And then some guy was like, oh yeah! Some guy like reached out for you and you just give up.
Oh, this is my favorite thing. Okay,
Are you guys making fun of my moves?
I have to reenact this. So Chrisol's like walking and stuff. There's this fool who swears he's fucking fine. He's like looking at Chrisol. He's just like, ha. Chrisol like is doing this, and then he goes like that, and Chrisol's just like, she didn't laugh, but she almost laughed with her. She's just like, and then she just kept
No,
going.
I didn't. There's no way.
It was so good. And then me and Angel were in the further back, and we like, did you see that?
Right in front of us, and I was like, no way.
We're like, boss.
That didn't happen.
I was like, amazing.
That didn't happen.
Whoever that guy is, shout out. That was fucking hilarious, dumbass.
People are gonna hate me after this. Be like, she doesn't interact with her fans.
She does.
We're laughing at that guy.
Yeah,
at that guy.
Did the right
because he swore he was gonna capture your spirit in the middle of your set.
Okay.
Like, bruh,
That's true.
go
like,
away.
Little do they know, I'm never making eye contact. I always look at just people's foreheads when I perform.
Oh, no
so
way.
people like, yeah.
Is that how you keep yourself?
No, I won't. I don't really get nervous. It's just more of a. It's like it's a scanning technique. Like, you look exit sign, but like it's a way to look at everybody, but look at nobody.
Yeah,
At the same time.
I agree.
Yeah.
So do you sing, like, in your head, do you sing to anybody when you sing, or do you go into like some other world zone?
It varies per song. Yeah, because also it varies per song. There's I have a hard time singing a few of my songs, but I don't know, my set's pretty upbeat for the most part, so there's not really that many of them. Pretty funky set.
If you can't tell from like how much fun we're fucking having, Chrisol is one of the goofiest, fucking most fun people.
Thanks.
It like completely contradicts kind of like.
Oh yeah, my stage persona is
complete.
It's actually pretty comical. So
Your image.
Yeah, well, so I have this. It's like having a worldview of yourself that's like different than what you actually put out. I'm trying to find I mean, also like I'm just kind of getting started. You know what I mean? Like this is like been the first year I've actually really focused in on myself as a solo artist. So kind of getting those two personalities of what I see in my head versus how I behave to intersect and walk together. That's gonna be a challenge, but.
A little bit of the real you like seeps into your fucking shows when Chrisol just fucking boom, she'll fucking
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't help it sometimes. It's like because I don't know. I've never really taken myself too seriously. I take my work seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. So hit him with the.
That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. And there are so many different shades of Chrisol. There's Chrisol, the person, just like goofy, like just straight. We were just talking about in the car how you're just sharp. You're laughing at Goofy. She's just so. Yep.
Like we got Chrisol, we got Goofy.
Yeah.
Chrisol, the person, Chrisol, the performer, and then just Chrisol, the friend. And when we were doing, so we did a music video for Introverted Funk.
Oh,
and you have to, like,
they were amazing.
Like that video is gonna go down as like a really big video, and for our like lifetime.
Gonna be bananas.
But you deserve to be a part of that conversation. I must say, just because it was so strange for me to see someone like you, who I already see as an artist. I don't see just like as a person who's trying to do music. I see you as an artist already. And like, you roll up with your van, you're like, hey, can you help me bring down this TV? We're bringing down this big ass TV for Angel's set.
Super big antique TV, and I'm just like, yeah,
And Chrisol's just like hanging around, helping out, like while Angel's like directing and Oscar, shoots this, is like putting the cameras together for his stuff. And then me and Chrisol were just like, I just love that image of just Angel in one room, Angel, Veto, PV, and Tatiana in one room, shout out, directing and just like creating a moment in time. And then me and Chrisol outside arm wrestling.
Production meetings.
The legendary, maybe fucking that shit.
A video is about to pop up right now.
Boom.
Chris.
Chris.
All right.
CVC.
1,
2, 3. Oh, no, you're gonna win.
No, get him. Get him. Get him.
Over the top. Lee's putting him a fight.
5 minutes. Get him. Get him. Go. Ah.
Just by a little bit, dude. She was really killing me out there.
I'm also 2 more shots deeper than.
Yeah, she's not.
I've had 2 more production meetings.
I have a woozy crystal.
Yeah.
And you just saw Chrisol fucking
Lose? But that's not the point. Chrisol the friend. Chrisol the friend. Let's get back to the topic at hand. I just wanted to like just sweep that aside and be like, Chrisol, you don't get to say anything.
Now I have to lose. Fuck y'all.
Rematch at the end of this. It's gonna happen.
Oh my god, my hands are so sweaty. Palms are sweaty.
Palms are sweaty. Me beat arm spaghetti.
I like the
spaghetti.
remix.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
I said arm spaghetti.
You said arm spaghetti.
There's spaghetti on my sweater already. Have you heard that remix? They replace every
with mom spaghetti. Everything's mom. Yeah, that's the song I was singing.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, but it's all in the kit. Yeah.
Anyway, the next day or one of the next days, we were shooting in a studio after that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of that day, Chrisol's hanging out. Like she popped in and out. Like she was there for the beginning, popped out. We were shooting for a bit.
Oh yeah, we set that bitch up.
Yeah, she's and Chrisol.
Art designer.
Yeah, Chrisol like helped set that up. It's like what other friend would do that other than me for Angel?
Like all that was missing was for Chrisol to fucking pull out her workman's belt.
Seriously, she was lifting more shit than like I was, and I was embarrassed. But at the end, the image that really got me. This is what I'm trying to work my way towards.
Oh god.
Is when we're trying to clean, like, we had to get that floor out, and we're fucking, like...
the adhesive, there was, like...
The adhesives.
They put in that like, fake tile, this checkerboards, which are gonna look sick.
Yeah, and the video, it's gonna look crazy.
But they, like, the sticky, and then plus the dancers were on them, so they just, like, stuck to the ground.
But if you can picture, if you will, superstar legend Chrisol
Oh, my God.
on both of her knees and hands... scrubbing the shit out of this adhesive and not complaining, not like this sucks. It's just like she just fucking going ham. Drew and I, shout out Drew on the bass. We drub ass. We go to fucking CVS for alcohol. We come back. We spray it all over, and I'm there. I make sense because I should be helping. Everybody's helping, and then I just look at Chrisol. I'm like, wow, like. This image of like Chrisol with their hair tied back, just scrubbing the fucking shit out of this floor.
It was my Cinderella
and
moment.
really killing it. Felt like the Cinderella evolution of just like the fact that a person like you would be down to do that. I don't know.
I mean,
like that means that meant a lot to me, and it wasn't even my shoot.
That's interesting, but like I don't know, like I guess it's not interesting. I don't know. They're my friends, and they're awesome, and I believed in their video and their vision. I'm like, literally anything I can do to help. Plus, they did the same for me. Like, PB plays for my band, which is already, like, crazy. Shout out to Piano Black.
Shout out
He's
fucking
incredibly talented.
Pete Barker.
Not just Pete Barker,
Parker.
but the
It's
guy who made our
Parker
theme song.
Yeah, and the theme song. Yeah,
And
dude.
the theme
By the way,
song.
I rolled up to their house as he was producing that, and I was like, and my selfish ass was like, don't give it to them. No, dude, it's because it's good. I'm like,
it's
this should
really
be a
good.
track.
And then
So
he's
maybe, yeah. But no, because he's the nicest guy ever, and like he
Look how it
just
goes full
but he
circle.
put so much work into that, and I'm like, dude, that's and like it's just him, and then also like Vero, like she is, like I hope people understand like her like vision and her creativity, and them two together, it's sickening. But like her on her own, like she's got like even like again, she helped me with my stuff. Like she's done my hair for several shoots, and she did my cover art. Like
Wow.
so I'm like,
awesome. Shout out.
Seriously, and so to be able to help even just like with sweat and manual labor, good old manual labor.
I didn't want to think that that's what you were saying, but you said it.
I just said it.
Good old manual labor.
Manual labor. That's the sequel to Bad Labor, by the way.
Manual labor.
Dude,
It has to
I
have.
can't, like, I actually love it.
That's
All
a
right,
skit.
anyway.
Yeah, so just to be able to put in that work for them, I'm like, and plus like also to be able to be like, I was there when that video comes out. Just to be like, I was present.
And it's so funny because I actually got the other side of that with my homie. Shout out Milton. My homie Milton was there.
Oh, yeah,
And,
dude. Shout out.
We're leaving the music video, and he was just like, dude, that was Chrisol.
Oh, gosh.
He was like, dude, I was talking to Chrisol.
No, that's
Like,
so
I was
strange.
like, me too.
That's so strange. I don't
And I was
believe. I don't believe you. I don't
I
believe you.
swear, Milton.
That's my Ron Burgundy. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, dude, but also like Milton is just such a fan of
Oh my
like
God.
of like musicians and of you. Like he's a huge
nice.
fan.
Yeah.
Shout out Milton. I hope you're not embarrassed.
Love you, Milton.
Love you, Milton.
Boom. Now
He's like, dude, Chrisol! He like has a
No
heart
way.
attack.
No way. That's not.
that's your new text notification.
Oh my god. I can make you
But
a
go on
ringtone.
what you were
I'll do
saying.
his voicemail. Hi, this is Milton's phone. Please leave a message.
Milton,
Take that sound.
is this the best day of your life?
That's fucking funny. So yeah, it's so cool because
And that other, I don't want to interrupt you, but the other thing you said too.
You don't
is
want to
like, there was
interrupt him,
just
but you
there was
did.
just so I'm just gonna interrupt you. It's like there was so much talent in the room. I think that was my favorite thing he said. He said that he was like there was so much talent in the room, and
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. It's like it was like when you hear about those parties that like John Lennon had with Eric Clapton or fucking Bob Dylan. It's like
That
whoa.
is crazy, and that's so crazy because like, I mean that's the hope that people are like later in life. I mean that's legit. That's how I feel like because I mean it's like so dope that people are even lumping me in with that. But that's how I feel when I hang out with the introverts, Twinsies, Chamba. Like I'm like, oh man, like these. I can't wait till we're like 10 years from now. People are like, oh my god, you were at that party at whatever.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that's crazy. But
you were at that
it's
shit?
it's so cool to like hear y'all put me in there. I'm like, thanks.
Of course, like it should be a no-brainer.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
Of course, like you're
That's
part
really
of this
nice.
fucking.
It feels like a family. Like I mean, and a lot of things have been happening and changing this year that like, sad things, bad things, good things, grand things have been happening to a lot of our friends that like really I feel have like tightened the community a lot. But not even just music. Like it's multimedia community. Like now like shout out Red Heart Media. Like she is
Shout out.
everywhere. And it's awesome. And you guys too with the way you guys produce and direct and so it's not just see you don't like it when it comes back at you. Don't compliment me. Oh no. But look at you guys are blessed.
I was here like,
Oh my God.
I was ready for more. I was like,
It's like tell me
I was like, what?
This is
I'm sure trying to.
this is two very distinct
Yeah.
reactions going on
I
right
was like,
now. Both of
What-
y'all
what-
are moods.
What about me directing?
Yeah.
What about me?
But for real, so it's expanding beyond and also because more artists, more musicians are doing multimedia stuff and more you put out music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's becoming
putting that out.
we're cross pollinating in ways that like being someone I always felt I was kind of on the bubble of things because my full-time job kept me from really being in the scene.
Yep.
so I just feel like the community is just way tighter than it had been because like being outside looking in for all of that.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely, and it's so weird too. Like I weirdly feel like a part of it just because like we've just been in that scene for so long, and that's all thanks to I was talking about to you about this.
Yeah,
It's all thanks to Justin, honestly.
The catalyst of this whole thing for our stories is fucking you, Jonathan.
Jesus. No,
is this his camera? Like, is this the only?
I'm looking at you, you tall motherfucker.
Because it's like the down angle, right? So
Yeah,
this is how
exactly.
he sees us.
He's always looking
This is
down.
how he sees us. Justin, can we go to this show?
Can you roll the blood, please? I can't roll.
You guys are like his children. Y'all are his sons.
But Justin,
basically.
Justin is like because he welcomed us
awesome.
with such loving arms. Like he allowed us into this scene, and that I think that's why I'm really excited we get to talk to people like you because. I mean, we're obviously growing as artists, me and Angel, and like other people, like other friends in our film realm. But it's nice to get like another. It's nice because we're part of the scene, but also not really because we don't make music.
But that's what like this scene. It's not the fact that you guys are coming in from the outside. It's just getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's
all of us, bro.
That's the whole
Oh man,
idea.
I really feel bad for not hopping in on that, bro. Like I could have hit that high harmony, and that would have been.
Let's try it again. It's all of us, bro.
That was great.
Sick.
I was gonna say it was funny you were talking about our friends and stuff. I was gonna say I love capitalizing on the achievements of our friends.
Angel's referencing a hate comment we have on our last one of our last episodes.
It was the fucking best.
Her name was Anna.
This guy. Hey, it's 2019. Anna can be this guy.
This guy.
As I learned last year.
This fucking asshole, and it was funny, and I just wanted to bring that up.
Very funny, Angel. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I've got a couple downvotes on videos. It's fine. It happens. It happens.
Like someone's just like, "This is music."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So I wanted to ask you because I feel like people are now starting. I'm like super cutting you off. I'm sorry. Do you want to finish your joke?
That's enough.
My joke was done.
There you go. Well, I wanted to ask because, like, okay, so now that you're being a little bit more ingrained into this like community, do you still feel like antsy? For example, the Tropicali lineup just came out, and
It was awesome. It's two different vibes on both days. Each
well,
day is
yeah.
its own vibe.
But I was gonna ask, like, do you get annoyed that you couldn't like land yet something there?
No, God, no. Absolutely not. No, that's it's time, man. And all the bands that I know that got there because of work. You know, it's just
You never feel left out because like recently, like, for some film festivals, sometimes like sometimes like a couple places will exclude Angel and I, and we feel like, okay, I want you to tell me this because this is mostly for me, but also for Angel too, because Angel, every time a big Latino thing happens where we feel like we should be a part of it, doesn't invite us. Angel's like, fuck this festival. Like, I'm like, well, yes, fuck them, but it's also. We still don't have the work yet, and I like that idea. But I think I'm curious, like how you feel, because I think for us it's easy to overlook us because we're not
I
white
I take it very personally.
But for you, I would imagine I can't imagine people not considering you. So I wonder what you think about that.
Well, also I don't know whose radar I'm on and for what. Like, there's people like you guys. Like, actually, it's I kind of enjoyed it because like I've never heard y'all's perspective on what you saw or thought of me prior to getting to know me. Most people I just assume know me through Selenamos. Like, I was like, oh, that's a Selena girl. And which for a long time I carried that as like, oh, you know, God damn it, like I really got to break away or whatever. But like also I'm really grateful to do that gig. So it's like, you know, how often do you get a guaranteed crowd no matter where you go? You know, and it's guaranteed, and it's people that like that are there to see you do your damn thing. You know what I mean? So that was I thought the perception of me, and then some people only know me from the girl that does the feature on the Twin Seas song, or some people thought I was in Twin Seas, and I'm not. Like I'm just I just that song was written prior to Twin Seas, and we decided to put on the record. Which shout out to Jose Cruz. I've been writing with him for a really long time, and that song was one of I love that song, so it was one of my favorite things we wrote together. But anyway, and so anyway, it's just I don't know, like, you know, like it's booking agents and stuff, but sometimes like Echo Park Rising, I was like, if I don't get on that bill, but it was also like I had to learn too, like if I don't get on the bill, it's not a big deal. Like you have to kind of remind yourself of that and kind of check your pride a little bit.
And I think that goes for anybody too.
Yeah, because I feel like if if you get salty that you're not on the bill, but your friends are, you know what I mean? It's like you're not really being there for your friends' accomplishments.
I get it, okay?
No, but hey,
I'm
man,
like,
can I go now?
I'm looking right at you. But also, I mean, you know, because sometimes I get it. Sometimes you're like, I have more followers than that person, or I have more songs, or whatever.
Like, my shit's better.
Like, yeah, it's always I'm better.
Or it's quality, or it's quality. But hey, man, like it sometimes it's just you don't know whose radar you're on and for what reason,
You're right.
and that's
right.
and that's so I like. But yeah, pride sometimes makes me kind of go like
Yeah, that's me. That's literally me all the time. I'm just like, you told me to submit to your fucking festival, and you don't fucking accept me, you mother.
Yeah, no, and you know, and there's been plenty of things people are like, oh, submit for this, you're perfect, and then like I never get an email or a call, and it's like, guess I wasn't good enough, and then I just like, you know, I have a cookie, and then I get over it.
I guess.
Gotta know your worth. You gotta know that it's okay, that it's not a big deal if you don't get one thing, because it's like not every actor gets invited to the Oscars every year. You know, not even as guests.
Oh my
like,
God!
just things like that
you
too.
know, super one day when I go to the Met, I'm just kidding. Like it's gonna hurt the day that I don't get invited to the Met.
What do you say, Chris? You're so stupid for passing us up.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things. Like bunch of idiots, but you know, I still maintain that. I don't maintain that for like not getting invited to an event, because especially if they're annual, it's just like, okay, not this year. It's not the end of the world.
Gotcha.
It's different. I think when I call people like stupid in my head, it's just more like when nobody wants to take a look at my script, or when people say like, oh, Bad Labor was okay, or Instant Crush was okay. I'm just like, kids are fucking dumb. Or that they don't think it was good enough for them to want to attach themselves to me yet. It's like, he's on the right track. And it's like, I've learned to let that go now through I put out like an Instagram post where I was ranting about that recently.
Yeah, you gotta.
And a lot of people checked me on it. And it was nice to get both perspectives of like, fuck yeah, that's the attitude to have. And then shout out to this mother for like trying, if anyone's been for vibe checking me. And he's right. You know, at the end of the day, it's good that I think that, or that any of us can think highly of ourselves. And I like that. What I think is good about you feeling that way is that you feel it worthy enough. And that's good already. Your heart's in the right place of how to feel about our podcast area, your own work. But then the next step, I imagine, like Chrisol saying, is just to remember, you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't get one thing.
So like with Tropicalia, for example, like I mean, you know, people are like, oh, what bands do you think should be at Tropicalia this year? And it's like flattering when people tag you in it, or you go text your homies like, hey, tag me in this post. Come on. But it's all about you know, who's booking, who's making the call. But like I know I'm excited to just go and be a fan, because also I've never
us too.
Yeah, I'm pumped like to just go check out. I mean, like. One of my highlights for Saturday is to go see Chamba play, and that's such a dope.
Yeah! Shout out La Chamba.
Chamba. They're outrageous. Yeah, they're fucking sickening. Yeah, but I try not to get salty, because I'm like, especially if it's something that my friends are on, because that means I'm bitter at them for their success, and I'd never want to have that.
Yeah. Well, that's the winning attitude, and I wanted to ask you that specifically. There was a reason, just because I know once this is like when we're doing our throwback episodes for season 2, when we do the throwback post for Chrisol, like now, like last year we were talking about her not being on Tropicalia. Now she's fucking headlining that shit, or something, you know. But it's like
you're gonna fucking jinx me, and I'm not gonna be anywhere near that bill.
Sorry about that. No, but I love that, because we were noticing that with some, like, we were posting leading up to the season on Instagram. We were like throwing up throwback posts of like old episodes we had people, and it was crazy that we noticed with every person we interviewed, they had grown drastically.
Oh my God, look at you guys.
The course of
tastemakers. Wow.
We know how to pick them.
Well, like I said in the Bad Labor episode, I have a gift. I have an eye for these things. But yeah, no, I'm honestly really grateful to know you as a person, like not just as just like an artist too, but like as a person, because like I always tell you this, and I told you this the other day. I said I hope you don't think this is weird, but I like missed you. Like I just missed us hanging out. Like shit was tired. Yeah, it's like I just want to talk to you again. Like what's up? What have you been up to? And like Chrisol like doesn't get like awkward. She just like. I feel like every time I talk to her, she like sits down, crosses her legs, and is like, "What's up?" And it's just that easy to approach. Square up. What's up? Oh my God. Square up.
Square up.
Speaking of squaring up.
Oh Jesus.
I think it might be time.
Is it time
to square up?
You know what? Let's square up for the last time. Let's have our arm wrestle rematch. And as we're doing it,
that's what I was fucking doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And as we're doing that, I'm just adding on, motherfucker. And as we're doing that, I want you to tell me what's next for
So
you.
weak right now.
Welcome to the first official live arm wrestle of
rolling
the
all
Us podcast. Yeah, we're rolling all around.
All right, cool, great. Let's do it.
So this is the official rematch. Chrisol versus Chris versus Chris.
Chris on Chris.
Chris on Chris. The fucking. So square up. Get into the starting position.
All right, I'm gonna lock and load my question before we get going.
Boom.
Because see, other people were critiquing, and I will address this in the video just so that this video is fair. People were saying that in the video,
that
you
your
notice
elbow,
that I lift my elbow from the thing, and I'm like pushing down. So it was a bit of an unfair advantage.
So
bit of an unfair advantage.
So this is why I requested this
I will
rematch, so you didn't
I
feel-
will keep an eye on the elbows. So while they're doing this arm wrestling, Chris is gonna be asking her some questions. So Crisol's gonna have to think on her feet while focusing on all the strength in her arms.
This
so,
is some bullshit.
are you ready?
Yeah, I'm a soccer player, bro. My strength's all in my legs.
Next.
You want to use your foot?
I have the upper body strength of a kitten.
Fucking
somehow-
Quinn. You want to use your foot?
Oh my.
Quintinin and Directinin by Written Directino.
Written Directino, dude.
Shout out.
Favorite. Love you,
Right.
Quinn. All of a sudden, I love you. And I was
Yeah.
just talking shit about once upon a
Love you,
time.
Quinn.
Love you, baby. All right, let's do this.
Alrighty, so let's
Elbows
get up.
both on table.
There we go. All right, that looks good to me.
Okay, Chrisol, let me know when you're ready.
Well, someone count it off.
Well,
Okay, I will-
let me ask you the question first, and then we'll count
okay,
it off.
let's do the-
So, Chrisol, you're a talented artist
Thanks.
on the rise.
Wow, you just gotta, like, he says something nice and then cuts me down. This time he said the nice thing first, as opposed to said it
You're a
second.
talented.
on the rise, unknown.
Yeah,
There's like nobody.
You're a talented artist with a
come with your-
long road ahead of you.
Somebody close to you said one more
Your heart's in the
flop
right place.
and it's over.
Bless your heart.
Somebody
Anyway,
said they were close to me?
what do you see yourself with? Because we haven't addressed this yet, but Hypnotize has not come out yet,
It has not.
and it's
At
on
this
its way.
point.
What's the official release date?
September
for
20th.
Oh,
September 20th.
Nice.
So by the time this episode airs, it will already have been out, but it wasn't out now. So Chrisol, after Hypnotize,
it goes like this.
yeah, I'm hypnotized. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
hypnotized.
Remix.
I remember it from the live show. That's how good it is. Anyway, what do you see yourself? What's next for you? Pretty much.
What's next? All right, singles
Okay.
coming out. So let's. All right, after that, I have a.
Let's start the arm wrestle,
Oh,
and then you
shit.
can.
Oh. See him already?
Yeah. So think about your answer, and the arm wrestling starts in 3, 2, 1. Dun, 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 dun.
I have possibly another single coming out. I'm working on a. I don't know. I can't. What am I doing? I have
Locatora.
maybe some visual. Oh, I have a show at Locatora.
Shout out, Locatora?
Yeah, September 19th. Though.
You got LA Fair.
I got LA Fair, and then I've got
Weapons?
Chilo Chevere Cool on. I know. Oh, sorry, 9/28. I'll be doing the Weapons of Mass Creation album release party.
I'm not even letting her anymore. This house hurts. As far as future goals, what do you see happening next?
Future goals. I'm really.
What do you want to be doing a year from now?
producing more visuals. Your girl's really
Do you
trying to
think you'll
get
have an EP or an album by that time?
an EP.
I'm hoping to have an EP too. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And what's CMCH?
Oh, it's an awesome video I'm working on with Veronica Rosa and La Mela Candelaria. And you'll just have to see. It's gonna be a surprise, but it's a very benevolent.
Yes! Yeah, Chrisol is the
I think that's as good a place as any to end music.
Holy shit!
Wow, that was intense.
That was the most intense. That was the most
Hang on.
intense.
I didn't get really to say what I got going on.
Go for it. Do it.
Chris is not down for the count. Chris is down for the count.
Peekafoo. Look at him.
Just pick a fool.
Yeah, after the single comes out, but we have a show September 19th with Locatora Radio, Sin Música No Hay Paraíso with Sancha, doing the LA County Fair on the 21st of September. The 21st of September with Introverted Funk. Introverted Funk is gonna be there that night too. So
Fuck yes.
yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be an epic night. I love
Parker Barker.
Parker Barker, my guy. BB Phyllis Bailey from Connecticut. And then after that, really excited. Actually, I'm a huge fan of Weapons of Mass Creation, so super honored to be performing for their record release.
Wow.
Yeah, they're wavy as hell, and I love Jules. She's such a talented MC and makeup artist as well. So, and all the guys on there.
Hit them up.
The whole fam damly is super talented.
They're so good looking.
They're so good looking.
They're
God!
so good looking.
This arm doesn't work anymore.
Stupid.
You see how I have to just be like...
Yeah, October, there's some Selenamos dates. Just, but yeah, if you guys can, like, follow social media.
Really quickly, for those who don't know, can you break down what Selenamos is?
Selenamos is, what I've been calling it is a collective of artists that I've gathered together to pay tribute to the Reina de Cumbia, Selena Quintanilla. So all of us, I've been calling it kind of a little super group. Because there's members there's members of La Chamba, Introverted Funk, myself, the Deliriums are represented. We also got like an OG cat that plays with us, but like a bunch of people have passed through there, like members of Chicano Batman, El Conjunto Nueva Ola. Like we've had a revolving door of some awesome musicians. So it's great, and we get to sing some of the best cumbia songs ever written. So. And
Chrisol, and the whole group has these fucking beautiful ass medleys that they fucking do. It's awesome.
We do a lot of the classics, and we do kind of our own twist on things. We are definitely a musical tribute, not so much like a mechanical like Chuck E. Cheese,
not like cover band.
Yeah, we're different. Yeah, so that's what that is. But that's one project I'm on. But my solo project, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever is your preferred.
Tell them what it is.
Platform, YouTube's. But I have a lot of visual stuff coming out. I'm really excited about to share with you guys.
There's this picture of you on looking in a mirror, right? That's from a music video that's coming up. Like the mirror, you're like, oh, look good. That's the music video you have coming out, right?
Is it on my temp? Yes.
It's when you're looking at a mirror.
Yep.
I know more about videos.
You know more about videos. That's coming out. A lot of the stuff, the visual stuff, there's going to be a surprise, and I'm working on a big project that's hopefully going to be out next year, but I don't want to talk about that publicly. But it's I'm challenging myself, and
Sick.
I look forward to just making it grow. So.
And you're definitely going to grow because you are on the Us Podcast level 2, where it's all of us, it's all community.
We're trying to level up.
We're all trying to level up. Level up.
And that's all we can keep doing. Level 2. Hell yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Chrisol.
Thank you so much.
You're a rock star.
Thank you. You guys are rock stars. I'm so sorry. By the way, anybody that wants to talk shit about that arm wrestling match, there's a weird acoustics in here. The table's very slick.
Chrisol was being pushed to the edge. I saw.
Yeah.
But she made it happen.
She made it happen.
This was awesome.
I wish I could say I faked that, but I have to. Yeah. It's so obviously a loss. I can't even dance around. I'm like, yeah, I lost.
You put up a good fight.
Whatever. I tried.
Right.
Thank you, Ustlers, for watching another episode of the Us Podcast.
Yeah.
We will see you all next time.
Because even when we lose, we win. That's just something we say at the end of the show.
Cute.
Level 2.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. Thanks for listening to another fucking awesome episode of the Us Podcast. Level 2. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow at the Chris Carmona.
You can follow me at Angel I Salinas _
Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at Us Podcast and check out our YouTube channels because we really need that support from y'all right now.
Listen to us on Spotify, listen to us on Apple Music, listen to us on Stitcher, literally anywhere you can get your podcasts.
You literally have no fucking excuse not to listen to us, bitch.
Whoa!
I'm back, baby! Just kidding. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.